So welcome back. Our first competition car insurance Radical UK Cup race about to get underway with the white and blue number 88 car of Ross Kaiser sitting on pole position alongside Sean Bolf, number 14, who we ride on board with as the lights go out here at Thruxton, and we're off and racing up towards Allard Corner for the first time, with Ross Kaiser having taken the lead of the race from pole position. Sean Bolf sitting there in second place as they head up towards the complex for the first time. There is our race leader, the 360 Racing prepared car. We're side by side for third and fourth place, getting very close indeed. Good battle going on further down through the field. Number 61 Manhalalos breaks that a little bit too late for the chicane and will rejoin the circuit right alongside number 70, that being Rob Weldon in one of the Super Sports class cars, the 1500cc Suzuki engine machines. Number 7, Stuart Mosley fighting away with number 70, Rob Weldon, who works for Radical, and that looks like Sean Bolf with bodywork problems. You can see the rear bodywork up in the air. It eventually moves back down into its rightful position, but Sean Bolf clearly has got problems with that car and is heading for the pit lane. So Sean Bolf, who started on the outside of the front row of the grid, having to come into the pits outside of the pit stop window and have the car tended to. There is number 61 Manhalalos, who is not that far behind the reigning champion and outgoing champion Derek Johnston. We're into the pit stop window now, so number 88 Ross Kaiser comes into the pits. He'll hand over to Terence Woodward, who is sat there with that black helmet on and is ready to jump into the car that's being vacated by his fellow driver. Here is number 61 Manhalalos, who has for the moment taken the lead of the race. He's had to stop for a slightly shorter period than the Pro-Am combination of Ross Kaiser and Terence Woodward, who need a bump start. They're being pushed down the pit lane, and hopefully they'll get themselves fired back into the race before too much longer. There is number 7 Mark Smithson fighting away with Ross Allen. The red car with the yellow flashes goes through and past. A spin for Mark Smithson up at the complex. Hopefully he'll get the car pointing back round in the right direction. But Mark Smithson is looking as though he will rejoin the race, but claiming victory, and their 5th victory of the season. It's Terence Woodward that takes the checkered flag. Ross Kaiser having done the hard work in the early stages. There is number 85 Ross Allen. He will claim the honours in the Super Sports class, finishing only just behind Manhalalos ultimately, who finished in second position. So Kaiser and Woodward take their 5th victory of the season. Manhalalos was there in second place and finishing in third, and the winner of the Super Sports class was Ross Allen. So the second competition car insurance Radical UK Cup race about to get underway, with number 88 Terence Woodward at the wheel, sitting there in pole position. Alongside him, that white car with the red stripe right the way down the centre is Manhalalos, and row 2 of the grid is number 1 Derek Johnston. Alongside him, number 14 Roger Bromley, the white car with the yellow stripe down the centre. The lights go out, they head up towards Allard for the first time, and it is going to be as they were on the grid, which we ride on board with Roger Bromley, who sits there in 4th position at the moment. The black car of Derek Johnston directly ahead of us on the circuit. Terence Woodward leads, Manhalalos second, then Derek Johnston ahead of Roger Bromley. Ross Allen, that white car with the yellow flashes, is 5th. He leads the Super Sports class at the moment, ahead of the car that sits directly behind him on the road, number 7, that being the black car with the blue flashes of Mark Smithson. Out of Seagrave they come, up towards Noble and then Goodwood. At the moment you can see the 2.6 litre V8 engined SR8s pulling away from the 1500cc 4-cylinder Super Sports class cars, the SR3s. Ross Allen in that number 85 car having to work very hard. Mark Smithson having a good run in this race, tries to get up the inside of Ross Allen. Ross Allen leading the Super Sports class championship as well. And you can see just how tight it is behind. That is number 33 gaining a position there. And that means that Craig Curry has now got himself ahead of Peter Osborne. Peter Osborne, who drives a number 46 car and is on his own here for the second of the 2 races. Alex Capardia shared the car with him yesterday. And Peter Osborne on his own for this second race of the day as we ride on board with Roger Bromley, closing in on Derek Johnston for what will be 3rd position. You can see he's in the slipstream as they come up Woodham Hill. Johnston on the right-hand side of the circuit will have the inside line when they get to the braking area for the club chicane, and should hang on to that 3rd position. Indeed he does. The short oval racer Roger Bromley still sits there in 4th place. Over the start-finish line they will make their way very shortly. There they go, fighting away for 3rd and 4th position. Number 14 Roger Bromley in the wheel tracks of the reigning champion Derek Johnston, a driver who competed in the Rolex Daytona 24 Hours earlier on this season, and now Roger Bromley is trying to get himself up the inside and should make it through as they go through Goodwood. He's made it through and ahead of the former champion. the 2 times Radical UK Cup champion, the 2 times European champion, Derek Johnston. There is our race leader, Terence Woodward, still pressing on. Here is number 85 as well, which is Ross Allen. Well, Derek Johnston all of a sudden seems to have slowed a bit. He's not just lost time, he's now losing places as well, because he's about to lose a position to Ross Allen. Into the pits comes the 360 Racing Prepared SR8 in the hands of Derek Johnston, and Ross Allen now very much under pressure from number 7, Mark Smithson, who gets very close to him. You see the mechanics beavering away towards the rear end of the car, perhaps putting a little bit more wing onto the car. In fact, it looks as though they are indeed putting more wing onto the car. Thruxton, a very, very fast circuit. Derek Johnston probably not happy with the handling. Here is Roger Bromley. Let's have a look at the replay of how he managed to squeeze his way through and gain the position. Out on the fast sections of the circuit was where it was. We can see the drivers beginning to get ready. The pit stop window is very shortly upon us. Good fight going on further down through the order. Number 71, which has Phil Abbott on board at the moment, is fighting away with 33. That's Craig Curry. Craig Curry trying to get up the inside, gains the place. Craig Curry, of course, will hand over to the former British touring car racer Ian Flux. And there is Ross Kaiser ready to jump into the race-leading car in the hands of Terence Woodward, that comes into the pits now. So Terence Woodward from Windsor, the former Radical Bi-Duro racer, is about to jump out of the car. And the former Radical Club and Radical Pro Sport champion, Ross Kaiser, is about to jump into the car. Here comes Man Halalos, having one of his best weekends of the season so far. The battle still continuing out on circuit, though, because the Super Sports class cars don't have to stop as long in the pits as the Masters class cars. And one of those Masters class cars now in the pit lane, that being Man Halalos, throws the water bottle out. Here comes Roger Bromley into the pits as well. He'll hand over to the former Spanish GT champion, Sean Bolf. Of course, that's the car that had problems in race 1 with that flapping bodywork. We have seen race victories as well this season for the pairing of Roger Bromley and Sean Bolf. So the seatbelts come off, and out of the car comes Roger Bromley. 1 foot going into the car for Sean Bolf. Here is our race leader, as yet to stop, number 85, Ross Allen. The Super Sports class car will only have to remain stationary for 40 seconds in the pits, whereas subject to the class that you're in and whether you're an Am-Am driver combination or a Pro-Am driver combination, you may have to remain stationary for 50 or even up to 60 seconds. So back out onto the circuit goes Ross Kaiser, just ahead of Man Halalos. They will be battling away for position on circuit, and with Ross Kaiser being a professional driver, you would expect him to be quicker than Man Halalos and therefore pull away. Out onto the circuit they will make their way, as being counted down before he rejoins the circuit is number 7. It did have Mark Smithson at the wheel. It's now got Stuart Mosley. Sean Bolf still in the pit lane waiting for the countdown to be finished as well before he can rejoin the circuit. Back out onto the circuit goes Sean Bolf, as into the pits now comes the race leader for his mandatory pit stop, car number 85, Ross Allen, leading the Super Sports class standings coming into this weekend. A handy advantage he has also in the championship standings. Comes into the pit lane. Tyre pressures being checked by the crew there. The radiators also just being checked. There's no debris in there. 40 seconds later, we should see Ross Allen, the former kart racer, head back out onto the circuit. Looking very cool, calm and composed. So Man Halalos goes through in 2nd position. It's been a very good weekend for him so far, probably his best of the 2010 season. And here comes Ross Kaiser, our race leader. He's re-inherited the lead of the race following the pit stop of Ross Allen. There is Derek Johnston back in the pits again. We saw him in the pit lane earlier on, having adjustments done to the car. This time, further adjustments being done to the tyre pressures on that car. And the reigning champion and outgoing champion is really having a fairly torrid weekend here at Thruxton this year. Fight further down through the order within the Super Sports class, car number 33. That is Ian Flux, who is trying to get himself inside the top 6 at the moment. The car that sits directly ahead of him on the circuit is number 70, which is David Thornburn. He's fighting away with 71, which is James Abbott. And a spin, number 87 spins the car. That is the pairing of Luigi Gatti and Sami Suminen. It's Luigi Gatti that has spun the car as into the pit lane, and by the look of things, into retirement. Car number 24, Chris Hillaby. He's had a new engine in that car this weekend already, and clearly the number 24 car has ailed into retirement in the latter stages of the race. 14 still going very well indeed in the hands of Sean Bolf, managing to put a lap on the car of Luigi Gatti, who has recovered following his spin. That white car with the blue flashes to it, number 87. We ride on board with Sean Bolf, who is sitting there in 4th position. Onto the brakes through Campbell, then up towards Cobb and Seagrave he'll go as Peter Osborne loses the tail end of the Super Sports class car. Number 46, driving on his own here today, usually shares the car with Alex Capardi. He's slap bang in the middle of the complex. Cars having to go one way and the other. James Abbott heads one side of the car, Ian Flux heads the other side as Peter Osborne eventually gets the green group SR3 pointing back round in the right direction as Ben is in the pits with retiree Chris Hillaby.
Chris, it's been a very difficult weekend for you, both in the club races and in the UK races.
Yeah, one way or another we've struggled a bit in the club races. Obviously we had an engine go yesterday on lap 2 or 3, which made it difficult for a start again from the back of the grid.
What's the cause of your retirement this race?
This one, Clive had a spin and he's damaged the splitter, and therefore the air's getting under the car and it's just jumping around at the front. It's dangerous, so we pulled out.
Next time, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fight's still continuing out on circuit, and the 16-year-old James Abbott is really having to fend off the attentions of the highly experienced Ian Flux, who's directly behind him and in his wheel tracks as they came through Allard that time. Back up towards the complex once more they go. The teenager from Bourne in Lincolnshire keeping an eye on his mirrors to ensure that he keeps the number 33 car in the hands of Ian Flux at bay as they head through Seagrave back out of the complex once more. They will make their way. They're fighting away for what will be 3rd and 4th position in the Super Sports class. We go on board with Sean Balfe once more, who is trying to gain positions up through the field. He's managing to carve his way through and ahead there of Stuart Mosley, so another position gained there, or is it? No, Mosley turns in as they get to the club chicane, so no position gained as yet for Sean Balfe, but surely it won't be that much longer before the V8 power powers him through up the inside at Allard. So through he goes, or does he? No, Stuart Mosley fights back once more, the less powerful SR3, 4-cylinder engine, only 1500cc, keeping at bay the 2.6 litre V8. Up towards the complex they go, and eventually the extra power tells as a stop-go penalty for Luigi Gatti, the number 87 360 prepared track group sponsored car, into the pit lane and back out. No doubt for pit lane speeding following the mandatory pit stop window and the driver change taking place when Luigi Gatti took the car over from Sami Suminen. Further conversations happening on the radio. I think as they came into the pit lane to serve their penalty, they may well have sped once more, so a further stop go will be shown for number 87 in the hands of Luigi Gatti, who makes his way for the 2nd time down the pit lane. No doubt this time he'll be a little more circumspect with his approach into and out of the pits, so further time lost as a result of the 2nd drive-through penalty. Into the club chicane for the final time comes Ross Kaiser. It looks as though it's going to be a double win this weekend for the pairing of Ross Kaiser and Terence Woodward, who head towards the checkered flag. They claim their 2nd victory of the weekend. Manhalalos looking as though he should come through in 2nd position. Here is car number 85, Ross Allen. It looks as though it's going to be another Super Sports class win for car number 85, Ross Allen. He'll finish in 3rd position overall, but it is number 88 that claims the honours. They'll be delighted with their double victory here at Thruxton this weekend. They're coming through now is number 61, Manhalalos. Here comes number 85. That is Ross Allen, the Super Sports class leader and overall championship leader, heads towards yet another victory from him. A solid weekend's work for the youngster Ross Allen. So confirmation of the results. The pairing of Woodward and Kaiser take their 2nd victory of the weekend. Manhalalos comes through in 2nd position with Ross Allen in 3rd, ahead of the pairing of Bromley and Balfe, who complete the top 4. Let's hear from the winning pair.
Tez, congratulations, 2 out of 2 this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. It didn't get off to a good start on Thursday. We had some engine problems, but we had a lot of help from Radical, and our race team 360 did a fantastic job to get the motor changed. And so we didn't get much testing, and we kind of just went straight out into qualifying, but it was a good car.
And Ross, an extremely fast stint that last time. 3 seconds a lap faster than anyone else on track. Did you need to get that fast? I mean, I know it's your home circuit.
Oh, I didn't know it was quite that quick. I wanted to get a quick lap in to obviously make sure I got fastest lap, and it counts for Sunoco points. So then the car actually stopped charging in the 2nd half. So you probably noticed the pace dropped off a bit towards the end. So I didn't want to risk going down as low as 2nd and then not being able to get back up the box because the battery charge was too low. So I kept it up in the high gears, which is what you need around Thruxton.
And on to our Super Sports class podium. Let's hear from the winner.
My team just made such a good job of setting the car up. It was really nice to drive.
And what about Thruxton? Such a very fast circuit. You're feeling at home here?
Yeah, don't usually like fast tracks, but the car was good, so it sort of made me comfortable, but it was just hard work on the neck, really.
So with a couple of rounds still to go, Woodward and Kaiser lead the Masters class from Bromley and Bolt. And in the Supersports class, it's Ross Allen that has a comfortable lead over the pairing of Thornburn and Rob Weldon. That's it for 2010. It's been a great day's action here at Thruxton.